Okay, so one of the things I did was I decided to build myself a little sort of Japanese, almost a town really. Here is, sort of a replica of the Kyoto Imperial Palace gardens or grounds. I really loved it there, so I just wanted, yeah, to make a little version of it that I could visit whenever I wanted. It's obviously not perfect. It's not perfectly modeled off of the original. Um, on on um on Habboon, the room sizes you can have are limited, so I obviously couldn't. And obviously, they I can only use the furniture they have, so there's limits. But yeah, I decided to build a little alcove there where people could sit down and pretend to be having tea together. Just because it's better for chatting with friends. Oh, but yeah, I did accidentally put that tree on top of a bench. So you're going to see me in this footage trying to do a rearrange where the tree is not on top of a bench anymore. Um, but what else can I say about this room? Um, yeah, a lot of the rooms I built, I originally started this thinking people would come and visit me, and I have made friends in Habboon who do come and see my rooms and like watching me build them. But yeah, I don't get so many of my real world friends as I hoped for, but that's okay. I'm not complaining. Not everyone's into the same things, but yeah, I created a little sort of street for a lot of my Japan related rooms to come off of, and I made it somewhat interactive. You can I can turn the lights on and off, and I can make the street sort of change a bit in terms of what's on it. The rocks too can change if I double click them. But yeah, let's head down into here, which is my little farm, because I feel like in an ideal world I would be able to just have like a patch of land where I would grow a lot of my own foods and just eat there. And one of the things that's interesting about Habboon is that it's possible to buy some animals that are just animals that sit there in the room and maybe act out some animal behaviors, but you can also get pets, which are a completely separate menu. In this room, I decided to have a little pet pig, um, and I named him Wilbur, obviously. Um, and yeah, you can see I can change the backdrop a bit as well. But let's head out, and I'll show you. Yeah, we're back in the street again. So we're gonna come over here, and yeah, I forget what this is. Oh, we're back in the palace grounds. Whoops. I don't know why we came back in here. Hang on. Let me just find out. Oh, yeah, that was one of the annoying things about Habboon, the way ads would just appear over the top like that sometimes. And it was a bit annoying. But oh yeah, there's lanterns in the garden, and there's some trees that if I double click them, they will get flowers on them, or they'll change size and shape a bit. Yeah, Habboon gives you a lot of options with which you can change the scenery by quite a lot, really. Um, yeah, I still haven't changed that tree for some reason. I don't know why I came back in here. Maybe I thought I didn't show it enough the first time. But that's okay. I mean, I'm not making these videos strictly to be entertaining, I guess. It's more meant to be a kind of documentation of what my rooms are like, so that if ever I have to leave them or lose them, yeah, I still have some sort of record of what they were like. I tried to move that bench, but it wouldn't go to that spot because I've already got a shrub over there. So yeah, I think I just ended up moving that tree, and I thought, well, the bench is facing the wrong way, but why not? Why wouldn't someone look up at a tree? Oh, there's my friend again. There's Andrew. He's a good guy. He's good to talk to. He's very chill and a lot of fun. Although he's sometimes a bit naughty. Yeah, I'm probably about to tell him about the video like making this video itself, which is fine. You know, it's cool. He doesn't always look like a wolf. He sometimes likes to dress up as a wolf. And I don't know why he calls himself Christopher when, you know, his real world name is Andrew, but you know, that's one of the fun things about having an avatar. They can, you know, be whatever you want them to be. They can be totally different from you and have nothing in common with you if you want. Although, you know, for some reason I always like to try to make my avatars look like me to some extent, even if it's not a whole lot, or I like to make them look the way that I would if I didn't have to worry about the constraints of life. Oh yeah, that's a fun little trick. Like, it's fun how some of the pieces of furniture look like you shouldn't be able to sit on them, but you can. It's just fun. So I'm probably going to go up the other end here. Like, look at that little street sign. Like, looking at this, I really feel like it's like one of the streets I stayed in while I was in Japan. And in fact, yeah, the house I have in that room. Oh, okay, let me talk about this room because I'm very proud of this room. It's my Japanese festival room. I really tried to make it look and feel like a real Japanese matsuri. And yeah, so basically you can go up to a lot of the different stalls and vending machines, and things will come out of them if you walk right up to them and double click them. You know, and those particular UFO catcher machines are, you know, they're really funny because I didn't know it, but you could get all sorts of gross stuff out of them if you double clicked them. And so I invited a bunch of friends in not knowing this, and they started pulling all sorts of stuff like snakes and dead squids and chunks of poop out of the machine and handing them to each other, and it was it was just really funny. And that's another thing though, you know, you can go up to a machine and get an object out of it, and then you can actually hand it to someone else if you walk right up to them while you're holding it. Like, I think you're going to see me here handing the popcorn over to Andrew. Yep, there it goes. And, you know, I like doing that because it's just a little way of, you know, I guess feeling as though I'm looking after my friends and making them feel cared for in just a little simple gesture. Not to self-aggrandize. I don't mean to say that to be all like, oh, I'm so nice. I'm not really that nice. It's not that hard to do. You know, you just go up to the machine, get the thing out, and then, you know, hand it over to your friend. But I just like that the game makes that possible. Like, oh, you're about to see me get some ice cream out of there, and you know, originally it was just producing chocolate and strawberry, but more recently I've found some more exotic flavors coming out. And again, you know, if you look at your character information, it'll tell you what your character is holding. Oh, that's a little food truck in the corner, and you can actually climb inside that, and if you wanted, you could roleplay being like a souvlaki stand or something out of it. I don't know, but it's just fun. Again, you know, some of the things in this room aren't technically meant to be at a matsuri. Like, those bowls are actually intended for, like a tiki feast, like a Southeast Islander style party, but I thought, you know, they look like something that you could find at a festival, like just as a nice fishy meal, and I don't see why a Japanese festival wouldn't have such a nice thing like that. But yeah, you can see there's a takoyaki stand over there. I just love that was even an option, and I love that, you know, there was that duck thing that you can climb on, and you know, you can make it look creepy or innocent. And yeah, we'll come back out here, and yeah, that's all of the fun things of the town. But yeah, we're going to go into my quote-unquote house. This is my front yard. Originally, I just built a bedroom for myself, and then I was like, oh, I'd like to have a living room so I can invite friends over without it being, you know, weird. But then I was like, yeah, I'll build myself a dojo, because then I could come in here and pretend to be exercising, because, you know, why not make my virtual home whatever I would want my real home to be? And the truth is, if I could, I would want a proper exercise area where I could, you know, dance or or do aerobics or Pilates or, whatever. But obviously my character can't do that. So I bought a set of stairs and just put them against the wall because I thought, well, sometimes I exercise just by climbing up and down flights of stairs. Why not, And, so it's just a bit of fun. Oh, that samurai armor set in the corner actually was intended for a Valentine's Day. But I thought, it just would look cool to have it in a dojo, along with those samurai, not samurai, ninja stars in that case. So we'll go back outside because there's not that much in that room. It's a bit bare. So we'll go into this other teleporter. This is my toilet. There's two stalls there because actually they're teleporters. I'll go into one and always pop out of the other. And I could have put the other one anywhere, but I decided not to. Because I wanted... Oh, there's my friend Andrew again. Yeah, you'll see him appear and reappear a few times in this footage because he kept disconnecting, unfortunately. And, this is one of the things I don't like about... Oh, you're going to see me grab some toilet paper and hand it to him as a gift. Just because, I'm just like, yeah, toilet paper shortage. Give it to my friend. Yeah, there you go, Andrew. Yes, yeah, here's some toilet paper. Oh, memories. But yeah, you can see there's like a water pump in the background there. I thought, well, if I'm going to go old style rustic bathroom, I should give people an old-timey way of washing their hands here as well. Just for added accuracy. And I think I've got two different teleporters coming out of the rooms, this room as well, because I thought in the real world I wouldn't want just one way of getting to my toilets. I would want multiple ways, just in case something goes wrong. And really in the real world it would probably be better to have two toilets rather than one, because it's always such a nightmare when two people need the toilet at the same time. And, especially if one or both of them are sick, you don't... But anyway, that's to do with my concerns about modern architecture. It's got less to do with what the rooms are about. Yeah, but he and I just had a little chat. It's a little funny in retrospect that he and I were sitting and having a talk in my toilet, but, oh well. But yeah, I remember it being a tough decision to use those particular toilets because I still wanted something that would look a little more authentically old Japanese, but that was the best I could really do. I mean, the menu has some tool sheds on it, which from the outside look great, but when you open the door, you literally see tools inside, and I thought, no, that's not what I want to have happen. And even if, by the time I found that, I already had those bathroom stalls, and I was like, I'm never going to use them anywhere else, and I don't like the fact that I own them if I'm not going to use them. Oh, but then again, in Habboon, look, if you're in a room where you can trade and somebody wants to trade with you, you can actually give them the furniture you don't want, and it will turn into credits for them. Now, in Habboon, because they gift you with so many credits for free, credits are almost a meaningless currency in that world, because you're always going to get more for free, just for hanging around on Habboon. And you get more than you can spend. I've tried to really make a dent in what I have, and my amount of money there just keeps going up and up. It's probably one of the reasons I like being there, as shite as my situation is financially in the real world, in Habboon, win or lose, I'll always be a bowler. So it's, it's a bit, I'm not saying let it interfere with your productivity, but I'm saying if you're feeling burnt out and you need a mental break, it's not a bad place to go. But yeah, in this room I decided to have a sink because I built a kind of traditional Japanese style kitchen area in my living room, but obviously I didn't want to have a sink in there as well. So I thought I'll have a nice big laundry where I can, dry some of my clothes indoors. Because I don't, like, in the real world, if you dry all your stuff outside, some of it will always get rained on. So if in an ideal world, you would have an area where your clothes could dry effectively indoors. And that's the thing, on Habboon you don't get dryers, you only get washing machines. And yeah, you can see I'm using it there. You just double click and it'll do its little animation, and you can double click it again to get it to stop. But yeah, I was able to find some cleaning products and some, different sorts of things in the menu again. In fact, I think since I took this footage, I even found a vacuum cleaner that I put in the corner, but I didn't have it in this footage because, I hadn't thought of it back then. Yeah. So we're back here, and I'm trying to get myself to walk over there. That's one little frustrating thing about the room. I tend to click the wrong way and end up making my little roofs change color, or end up in, oh, I see, I forgot to show what's through this teleporter here. To be honest, I don't even remember. Ah, yeah, my bathroom, of course. So yeah, this is my little traditional bathroom. I decided to have like a peg area where people could get undressed and then, shower. Oh, and yeah, it leads back out to the bathrooms. Oh, sorry, the toilets. And then you can go back into the bathrooms, of course. Yeah, that's another thing. You can't just click the teleporter again to get your character to go back where they just came. You have to get them to go into the room and then walk back. It's a little fiddly, but it gets the job done. So back in here, and yeah, you just get into the tub like that. Sometimes I will bother to change into a swimsuit when I'm doing that, but mostly I don't. Then you can go over here, and really what you're meant to do in Japanese culture is you're meant to shower and clean yourself very carefully before getting into the hot tub. And that's meant to keep the water of the hot tub cleaner so that other people can use it without having problems. So there I am, and yeah, I can change the content of the pegs. I like to keep it a bit sort of spare and basic because I figure, it only makes sense to have a lot there if my guests are actually going to use it. Oh, but yeah, I also connected the bathroom to my bedroom because, in the real world I imagine I would want to be able to just walk from the bathroom to my bedroom to get dressed if I've forgotten to get any clothing, and it's just easier, I think. But yeah, I can climb into that bed. Again, I'm having difficulty, like you might have seen in another video where I try to get into a bed and it doesn't go very well. Yeah, sometimes in Habboon, trying to walk to a place doesn't go the way you expect. And I don't know why, but that's just the way it is. But yeah, sometimes I like to just have my avatar fall asleep in here on the bed. And oh yeah, one of the things I prefer to do when I'm in the room is to actually get my shoes to disappear. So, because, traditionally in Japan, you're not meant to walk around indoors with your shoes on. And even if you could, I wouldn't want to wear them into my bed either. It's disgusting, I think. So, yeah, laptop opens and closes. That window opens and closes. I can get the light to turn on and off. And yeah, we'll exit the room. And we'll walk into my lounge room where you can see that I have the cooking area, the traditional style Japanese cooking area, where, apparently they would put things on skewers and just stick them into some dirt around a fire and let them cook that way, which I think is very interesting. I mean, it was an indoor arrangement, so I'm guessing they must have had some sort of chimney as well. In Habboon, you typically don't get to build ceilings or roofs, so I can't look into that. But, oh, that sewing machine actually runs. You'll notice I've got two sewing machines in my house, and that's because in the real world I actually own 2 sewing machines. I own a Singer heavy duty, and I own I think it's a Toyota jeans machine, or is it a Mitsubishi jeans machine? It's one of those. But anyway, that's not relevant. But yeah, there's a dimmer switch in the room, so I can make the room darker if I want to, which is something I did once when I had a lot of friends over and I wanted to just encourage them to have a really good chat around the fire. It just, made the atmosphere better. But yeah, I have that basin by the door, and the shelving, just to encourage people to take their shoes off when they come into my house. But because I'm getting ready to exit the house, I'm going to actually put my shoes back on my feet so that I can continue touring you guys around. So off we go. And yeah, we're back in my yard. So yeah, and you can see some discarded letters by the door because I thought, that just makes it more authentic. And I don't have a mailbox, as you can see. I couldn't actually find one, and even if there was one, I couldn't find one that looked Japanese to me. So I don't have that. But yeah, and that weeping willow I've got there with the flowers on it is actually meant to be... Oh, yes, I forgot to show one more room. Come down here. And... Oh, these rooms are public, so I don't even have to show you. Like, if you can go into Habboon, you can find these rooms by yourself. But yeah, this is my guest room. Man, sometimes I really wish my real world friends would come and visit so I could show them, the little table I'd give them. But yeah, I've got a bar fridge for them, and, I wanted to do like a sort of indoors-outdoors feel with this room. So there's like one of those bamboo water features. It doesn't properly run, but I thought since they did it giant for some reason, what if it's like a guest bathroom in here, like a guest shower? Obviously they would still have to go around to use my toilet, but it's just a fun thing to have. And I put bamboo between that and the door so it gives them a bit of privacy. And, the window opens and shuts, and, yeah, they've got a tea set there for themselves. And, yeah, that's all of my Japanese house and town. Although I have added a sort of connection to it since I made this footage, which I think stands for some separate explanation, because I actually want to be able to use it to tell a Japanese fairy tale. Well, it's not just a Japanese fairy tale. I think the folklore also appears in China. But yeah, that's another story for another time. The point is, yay, I have a little Japanese house, even if it's virtual.